Oh, hello, shedders. Welcome to What's Going On in the Shed. I'm your host, Mark. Thanks for being here. I really appreciate you taking your time out of your busy day or evening to be here with me. I'd like to give a shout out to all the members on the channel who support this channel for as little as $1.49 a month. It's pretty cheap. If you like what I do and like what I'm doing here, consider becoming a member. I haven't really got any perks going, I'll be upfront with that, but YouTube has introduced members only live streams as a new feature on these things. It's been around for a while, but I'll certainly look at doing some members only live streams, probably not on a Thursday night, maybe a Sunday or Saturday or whenever I get some time. Today's been a pretty hectic day. We've gone to a new trainer for the Shed Dog 2, my wife's assistant's dog, and that was even though it was only about an hour session, getting there, getting back, and getting Shed Dog 1, the old girl, to my parents' place, and all that sort of stuff going on. So we've done a lot of driving today. It's been very worthwhile, and we feel comfortable that we're going in the right direction. I'd also like to give a shout out to the other supporters of the channel who come in and take their time to see what I'm doing, watch the videos I'm making. It's not all professional. I do it in my spare time, and I do the best I can, and of course make mistakes along the way, but that's all part of the learning curve. These great people you see in the chat over here with their names, they've all got YouTube channels. Go over and give them some love. Go and support what they do, regardless of who they are. Treat them with respect and just have a good time while you're here. If you want to participate in the chat, by all means do it. Just be kind and courteous to each other, just like you would if you're talking face to face with someone in the street. G'day Zakau. We've got Peter, we've got Funk and Hungry, we've got Cody, we've got a few others. Mum and Dad not on the watching me on the big screen tonight. They're down at my brother's place. So they're down there. She's probably watching on the mobile. We got a few other people in the chat here. I may have missed a few. If I have missed you, sorry, but I still love you all the same. I love you even more. But anyway, right, what have I been doing? Well, I did put a video up yesterday. I bashed one out, just a short one, and we'll go over and talk about that right now. Oh, wrong one. Hello. We'll go over to the lathe here, and it's all about what's happening on the lathe. Hopefully you guys can hear me all right, that I'm not too loud or not too soft. And we'll just get you. Hang on, come on. Hang on. That's not going to play the game. All right, so I'll leave that there. You'll see me walk over to the lathe. So the addition, now, for most people, this is probably a pretty straightforward and simple thing. You won't see me in frame, but you'll see my hand. I'll get my hand model to do everything here. This is a piece of aluminium or aluminum for our American friends. It's 50 by 50 by 3 mil, and I've just pop riveted to the backrest on the lathe here. It does a couple of things. It makes the backrest, the splashback actually, and the swath catcher to a little bit stronger, but it also lets me put up the tools here, all the lathe tools, so they're easily interchangeable. So this here is the tool post, and it's a quick change tool post, and I can take this out, swap it over for another one like so, and I'll just get them out the way, pop that on, and you get the idea that how quick it is. By being all up here in front of me, I can get to and give them a bit of a clean for one, like so. I could number them and all that sort of thing, but I pretty well know all my tools, and I only use them from time to time for when I'm doing a particular task on the lathe. But it just sorts out this mess up here, Anyway, let me just reposition the camera. There we go. It might bobble around a little bit. Can you find? Oh, sorry. Sorry, guys. Righto, as most of you have seen in some of the other videos, oh, look at me, I'm on screen, wow. This was a bit of a mess. I've still got a couple of more tools up here, and which can conveniently be pushed along. Another one can be put up there like so. And I've probably got more tools than I can poke a stick at. But I'll be able to clean this off. And in fact, I do have more tools than I can poke a stick at, because I've got another 4 here. Now, a lot of these tools are very similar in what they do. The thread pitch gauges here, they really don't, well, they can stay here, but only when I'm cutting a thread or something like that. But quite often the lathe file here, I would put on the edge and I'd easily knock it off or something like that. But now I can have it here, or maybe make a little holder or something, so it's a lot easier to access and get hold of. Even the key for the lathe chuck to open it up, you know, like so, or grip, for instance. Put that in there to hold our workpiece in, because that's what I was using for the whistle valve when I was, you know, machining that. Like so, that just screws into there, and it's just going to make it a lot easier, a lot cleaner, a lot quicker. And even for a home setup like this, having your stuff organised just helps you get the job done a bit quicker, makes you think about things, maybe getting the right tool, or just planning out your workflow process. It's all about that, and that's why I try and keep a fairly clean workshop. It's a little bit tidy over the back here. Hang on, we're going to spin you around pretty quick here. Oh, someone's big head in the way. There's the forklift. Right. Down on the floor there, you can see it. Over here, it's a little bit messy. I've got the air compressor there, air hose here, this hose reel here. This hose reel. Oh, hello. What are we doing? Oh, righto, looking at the wrong screen. Sorry, folks. The hose reel's got a bit of a problem. It leaks air. And in a small home workshop like this with a fairly small compressor, you don't want something like that losing air, because it's going to make the compressor work more, all that sort of stuff. So that's going to be a job where I need to pull that apart, and the guide that guides it backwards and forwards and rolls it back up nicely, it's misaligned. So that's one of those things I need to do, and then I've got to hang it up somewhere so that I can pull it out and use it, you know, virtually in any part of the shed here. It's got a 20-metre hose, and this blue one, well, I probably should pipe it up and run it across the top here so I can have an air line down to the lathe, or maybe just in the middle here, so it's between the lathe and sorry, I'm out of frame there, the frame and the bench, so you can have access to whatever you're doing. That's in theory anyway. That's moving right along. And look at this. Another couple of lathe tools. Another boring bar, internal threading tool. All these things that you accumulate over time. With these lathe tools, you often buy them in boxes. I'll just grab one and show you. Lathe tools. Next one up. Especially when you're starting off. Right, you'll buy them in a kit like this, and they come with various shapes and sizes, and then along the way you buy more. This is a smaller internal threading bar, and you pick up ones along the way. And also these are a fixed tool for insert tools. Now, for those of you who don't know what I'm referring to, I'll show you an example, just to give you an idea on the different sort of turning tools that are available. And I'll get the old style as well, which I have quite a few of, actually, to tell you the truth. Righto. Now, back in the day, before the the rapid improvement of lathe tooling, most people had this. This is a piece of high-speed steel. High-speed steel is very versatile in what it can do, and the shapes you can make, the different things. I think I've made this one maybe into a threading tool, and on the back here is a very fine, it's been ground to a very thin, like a very thin parting tool for maybe making a groove in plastic or something like this. High-speed steel is ideal for working on plastics and things like that, unless you have something like this turning tool here, this really bright, shiny one there, is ideal for engineered plastics and things like that. You can take really deep cuts and have ribbons of material coming off. It's quite spectacular, and machine virtually going flat out. I've done that quite a few times over, in my work experience. However, these ones here, what they call a carbide insert. You get long. It's much harder than the high-speed steel. However, they are a bit more brittle. And these carbide inserts come in all shapes and sizes. You name it, whatever you can think of. There's a number of shapes that they come in, and generally speaking, they have 3 cutting edges on one side, and turn them over and they have another 3 cutting edges on the other side. So this has essentially 6 cutting edges per tip, whereas something like this one here, let's see how close we can get it. Although it may look like it's got 4, it's got 4 sides, it's really only got 2, one because of the shape of it. Once again, depending on your application, the material you're turning, it all varies from time to time. But generally speaking, these will get you out of trouble in whatever you're doing, whatever you're machining. Obviously, depending on the material, we'll get different results. Stuff like this is bronze, fairly soft material. I just use the carbide inserts are readily available, easy to purchase, fairly cheap and long lasting. I can use a piece of high-speed steel to machine this. It's personal preference really, depending on what you're doing. Ideally, the manufactured high-speed steel, carbide inserts like this are for industry. If you're doing prototyping, a lot of machining, manufacturing, all that sort of thing. So it all depends on what you're doing, is depending on the insert required and whether it's left-handed, right-handed, all that sort of stuff. For instance, with a lathe, these are both, I don't have an example of a left-hand tool, do I? Okay, so there are left-handed tools and right-handed tools. Right-handed tools, they machine from right to left, and left-handed tools go from left to right. All depends on your setup. At the end of the day, the lathe doesn't care which way it's going, as long as all it's doing is turning. It doesn't know whether it's turning left, right, anti-clockwise, upside down, or what. It all depends on your situation, on how you're going to machine your particular piece of metal. So that's a quick education on lathe tooling. Hopefully I haven't confused anybody. There's plenty of other videos out there on YouTube about lathe tooling if you want to look into that and find out more about lathe tooling. All right, we'll jump back in front of the computer for a bit and have a bit of a chat. Righto, hang on, let's change. Here we go. Oh, look, I'm back on screen. Hello, Kerry. Welcome. Yeah, Peter, you're right. Carbide for hogging or shed load fast. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yep. Look, it's hang on, I'm getting I'm getting messages from all over the place. The tooling is, generally speaking, when you buy a carbide tool, for instance, like this one here, this is a milling cutter. This has got a couple of inserts, and this is also a carbide cutter. That's they both do the same job. They do it a little bit differently. One's got 4 flutes. This one's got 4 flutes. This one's got 2. With this one, this one here, it's more for sort of, milling a surface like this, or, you can use it to face a surface. However, this one here, you can actually, drill into a flat surface, or you can, clean up an edge or something like that. There's various examples of carbide tooling, and here's another one. This is, if it'll focus, yep. This is a triangular insert carbide, usually with a gold. They come in all sorts of colours. They come in packs of 10 like that. These are silver ones, like so. And most of these have, indexable. These are indexable. Same with these ones. These are, hang on, is it going to focus? Yeah, no. There we go. G'day, Adrian. No worries, mate. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. So that's another type of indexable tip. Like I said, they come in all shapes and sizes depending on your application. And the other thing, they have a number, and you can look that. Where is it? You can look that number up, and it'll give you the parameters for machining, ideal cutting material, and feeds and speeds and all that sort of thing. First Floor Audio, g'day, how you doing? Thanks for being here, Mr. Lee G. Everyone go check out First Floor Audio. He does live music, all the stuff he's done himself. He puts on a good show, usually 3 times a week. He's been a bit crook lately, but he's still managing to put a bit of music out there. But he does a good show. Actually, a bit of ice cream would go nice right now. Righto, what else have we got going on? Oh, boy, like I said, it's been a bit of a topsy-turvy week, and hang on. I have been working on... Righto. Woohoo! Like one of those cool kids. Haven't you got to do that, drop in the seat thing? Is that how you go? Righto. Okay, so this is the whistle valve I've been working on, and that looks funny. As you know, I remachined this hex. It had been bashed about over the years with a pipe spanner or pipe vise. Just made an awful awful mess. The other thing that's going on with this whistle is that this is the valve that sits inside this body here, and normally you don't, where is it? It goes through there. Normally you don't see this sort of thing. No, gee, I won't break the chair, mate. So over the years, this valve has worn, and as you can see, there's a lot of play there. So when you pull the whistle, you'll get steam coming out of there, and it's meant to be going up, meant to be coming up out of here, out of there, right? So we're going to, right, I've got to get this. This will sit in the milling vise. I'll clamp it and I'll drill that hole out and put a little bush in there to help remedy that. And I may even oh yeah, you're right, Clinton. I may even have to make a new one of these because it's seen better days and it's a little bit bent and it's a little bit worse for wear. Now this thing's not gonna, no, I've got to come back here. And there we go. You probably can't make that out, but it's a little bit worse for wear. So a bit more work on these two items, and the actual seat, right, in there, which you can't really see. In fact, if I add some light, let's get the old phone, and this is where you, no, you can't do it. Anyway, inside there is part of the casting, and they call it a seat. It probably could do with a lapping, and I could probably remachine this, take a very light cut off this in the lathe and remachine that and lap this in so it's got a better seal. Although when I have used it, it has worked. It hasn't been a problem. But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. It's I've still got plenty to do, and it'll happen in the spare time. So let's put that back over there so we don't knock it off. And you know, we'll do a spinny. Whee! Oh, that's getting a bit dizzy actually. Oh my God. I tell you what, I probably need to go get some water. So what I might do is I'll jump into, I will, going to start a break. You'll probably see some ads appear and I'll be back in a couple of minutes. I really do got to go grab a drink. So I'm going to, let's try 1 minute and see how we go. Come on. 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 Come on, Maxie. Well, g'day, I'm back again. I don't know whether you guys saw anything or not. They're supposed to play some ads and you can make revenue out of that. So I don't know whether you saw it or not, or you just heard me run upstairs and grab this drink and come back. Now, talking about steam engines run on water. Well, they run on fire and water. And us humans, or our dogs, humans, need water. So water's a good stuff. Right, well, I did I'll call them up here. Come on. Hey, you two. Nia, Max, come on. Come here. Here they come. Hey, Periwinkle. Thanks, mate. Here's one. This is Max. Baby girl, come on. Come on. Righto. Max is the one that went for the assessment today with the new training group. So he will go through a bunch of training to become an assistance dog for my wife to help her with some tasks, especially being in public and that. So here's Nia. Here's the old girl. Okay. And what have you two been doing? Bloody hell. Okay, so just around, come back here. Come back here. Come back here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Righto. Just around her neck here is all wet. And that's where, when they play fight, that's where Max grabs onto her and they try and wrestle each other and all that sort of stuff. And quite often, this one, the old girl, even though she's quite grey around the chops, will get Max and just, grab onto him and throw him down, and Max will just go thud on the ground. It's pretty funny to watch. It's not, I shouldn't say funny, but they just go at it sometimes, and it's all dog hair anyway. It's all play fight. Hey, you leaving hair in my shed. Mummy gave you a brush the other day, and it was all coming off the backside here. You're shedding, obviously getting ready for the summer. Hey, everyone's looking at you. Hey? They're talking about you. Righto. You're right, Peter. You're absolutely right. They probably were expecting some treats. Yeah, dogs will be dogs, that's for sure. Shedding in the shed. Yep. The dogs shed in the shed, and they don't shed anything else in the shed either. They just shed fur. Periwinkle, I don't know, mate. I don't know. I don't know how our dogs would go with the cat. Does your cat get along with dogs or not? Maybe. Yeah. Thanks, mate. No worries. Okay, so the forklift. Excuse me. Sorry if I'm... the forklift was, after I brought the steamroller, most of you know, and that's what's in the intro, the steamroller is the major project I got going on here. It's a 1926 Fowler steam road roller. It was built in the United Kingdom in 1926, exported out here to Australia, worked all its life, just west of a place called Toowoomba, and then worked up until about 1960-61. Then it was placed in a park, and there it stayed for another 50 years before it was rescued. It then went to, it was rescued in the aims of getting it going. However, the person who got it out, unfortunately, that plan didn't go the way they wanted it to, so they sold it to the bloke. We brought it off. He had it for about 8 years, and we've been working on it for 7 years. So once I got the roller home, the next thing I chased after was a forklift. And the reason why I wanted a forklift, now I work in the earth moving industry, and we use earth moving equipment, loaders, diggers, you name it, to move things around. That's part of the game. And when you're moving heavy stuff, you need heavy equipment, or at least equipment to help you out do that. And the forklift was the best bargain I ever brought. That was a Facebook Marketplace find. and it's done everything I need it to do, here at home. We've got it bogged. We've done all sorts of things, but it's towed when the steamroller was complete, it's towed it, around the yard. You'll see us in the video, the intro video, taking the tender off. We also used it to take the wheels off, all that sort of thing. And it's just been fantastic. It's only a 1.5 tonne capacity. However, it will go up 4.3 metres in height. And, it's just a fantastic bit of gear. Obviously, a forklift like that is ideal for flat surface like concrete here in the shed. However, it does go pretty well outside in the yard. Obviously, I don't take it out there when it's been raining heavily and the ground's soft and all that sort of thing. It's just you've got to think ahead with these things. But I've used the forklift to do all sorts of things around here. Mainly move stuff, especially all the stuff off the roller. The rear rolls, they're 500 kilos each. When the front rolls were together, that was a total of 1.5 tonne. And I could pick that up with a forklift and move it around slowly. Obviously, that's at the peak limit of that forklift. But you get the idea. When you're doing this sort of thing, you need something to help you out. Most people would probably use a gantry, A-frame, or some chain block, that sort of thing. But seriously, forklift's the only way to go. What I'd really like, and they are available, but with anything, it costs you money. I would like a rough terrain forklift or a 4-wheel drive forklift that you see floating around the place now, and they're just more versatile, that sort of thing. Well, no, Mitchell, they're not actually. What do you mean by expensive? Give me a dollar figure of what you mean by expensive. Like I said, I was really lucky. This was a Facebook Marketplace find. I was very lucky. If you look on Facebook Marketplace or whatever your particular things is, it could be Craigslist, it could be eBay, whatever. They all start around about anywhere from I'll say the lowest would be 3,000, and they go up from there depending on what you want. Usually about 4,500. Well, you can spend that much. I have seen them for that much, but the ones on Facebook Marketplace, round about 4,000. Start, sort of 3,000 at the cheaper end. They're usually buckets of, not that good, or they got problems. But if you're looking to buy a forklift, anywhere, say 5,000, you'll get a decent forklift as far as I'm concerned. You wouldn't have to spend that much, Michael. So I would, if you're on Facebook, go check it out, Craigslist or eBay. Just depending on what you're looking for. You just never know. Word of mouth. With that one, it was really cheap. It had a couple of little problems, which I managed to sort out really quick, and it didn't cost me all that much. So over the time I've had it, I put a brake cylinder on, a clutch or a master cylinder, and I've gone through 2 batteries. So all up, I got a flashing light on top as well. It runs off gas. I just put a barbecue gas bottle on there, a 9 kilo. It's cheap to run. And like I said, it just, seriously, it does everything I need it to do. It even moved this lathe when we were putting things in there. It moved this lathe in here. When I brought the boiler in, I did borrow the bigger forklift from my work. I got to thank my work because a while back, they've helped me out quite a few times, doing things here at home and in the shed. Yeah, you're right, Peter. And it's amazing. You just never know what's out there. Like I said, average price roughly about 3,000 up to about 5,000. You can pay more. It all depends on what you want to do, what you want, all that sort of thing. But really, Kogan? Okay. Well, if it's Kogan, they're probably buying them from China, and the ones coming out of China are pretty good. I must admit, they're the Chinese ones do. They're the ones that we're getting in here a lot. You see them advertised through Forklift King and others that sell those forklifts. It's just, it all depends on what you want. Yeah, I sure did. Kerry, I sure did. No, periwinkle, no. You probably don't. You probably should, but like all things, if you be an idiot with it, you're going to get yourself into trouble. Like all things, you just got to take things carefully and think about what you're doing. I've had enough. I've had my forklift license for a long time now, and I've learned through experience. Had a few near mishaps with forklifts and that, and you can watch. There are courses out there you can go and do. Yeah, you're right, Peter. Timing is crucial with everything. It's like when you go to lift something, you think about how you're going to do it so you don't hurt your back, that sort of thing. When it goes over a certain weight, you need something like a forklift. Anything bigger, depending on where you're at, what you're doing. So my wife is in the chat. Who wants one? And yeah, and forklifts go up in sizes. You know, you got ones that can lift containers and all that sort of thing. Yeah, Kerry, I know that. Mum sent me a message before. It's for sale. He wants one with a lower front part. Yeah. The limiting factor in, if anything, I'll just tilt the camera up without turning the auto tracking on, and almost this height, this here, the mast height. Righto. So the mast height is a little bit of a limiting factor, especially if I work in the corner of the shed. However, we have lifted the lathe in and moved other things around here. You can get in, but you just got to be very careful when you start lifting up. You can only get about a metre and a half roughly off the ground before you start running into problems with the beam coming down here. If we had one that had what they call a container mast, that'd come to there roughly. Virtually not much higher than the actual cage here, the protection cage. It certainly make it easier, but the forklift, that is like I said, it's a fantastic bit of gear, and I wouldn't be without it. Righto, moving on. I'm going to keep drinking this water because sorry about that, but I'm thirsty. Righto. And look, boy, we've got quite a few of you watching right now, and I really do appreciate you tuning in. Like I said, I'm a little bit unprepared for tonight, and I've pretty well talked about everything I think I'm going to talk about. To show you much more would be sort of pointless, because I'm not going to actually do anything here tonight. I haven't got anything set up or anything like that. Auction starts at $1,000. Yeah. Yeah, periwinkle, you're right. And because of where we live, we often because we live very close to a school, we get Peter. We don't get Peter. We get people dropping their kids off, in our driveway because it's ideal. It's sort of just after the zebra crossing, and I do feel like going out there with the forklift sometimes and just picking them up and moving them out the way. It can be a real real thing. Live auction, yeah. We're starting bid is $1,000. Do we hear any more? $1,000 going once. Oh God, you guys crack me up. You really do. Oh my lordy. So without, all right, okay. So all right, hang on. Let's go over to the talking head here. So it's just me in the corner, and I'll bring up a media source, and I'll go here, and we'll talk about. Adrian, good question. Hang on, let's go back. Adrian's just posted a good question. Was the forklift because of space, or wasn't having Bobcat with forks on the cards? Adrian, the forklift was cheap. When I say cheap, that was $2,500. Unfortunately, at the time, a Bobcat was what, 10,000, 15,000, somewhere around there. So it was a bit. The Bobcat, as much as I wanted a Bobcat, it was just too pricey. So the forklift was the way to go, and that's why we went that way, Adrian. Thanks for the question. Terranator, g'day, mate. How are you? Stumpy is back. Oh, you haven't got a leg to stand on, have you, Terranator? Poor bugger. So yeah, welcome, Terranator. Thanks for being here, mate. What else? I got to. When I say you got to take a swig. Okay, drinking game. Water, or if anybody wants to buy me a beer or a cider, I'd be happy with that too. Yeah, you're right, Kerry. They can have a long drop. Yeah, big difference. Yeah. Adrian, I'm open to any bit of machinery, mate. Whatever's going to make the job easier, I'll go for it. If I could have got a crane, I would have. Actually, I know one of the blokes at work's got a drag line like yours. He wants to sell it. You interested? Want another drag line? For 10,000, who got two machines for 10,000? Me? How do you work out that? Hang on, I'm yeah, mate. Yes. Right. Sorry, I'm just playing catch up in the chat. I'm trying to. Yeah, I'm a little bit distracted. Sorry, folks. Yeah. If he does, I think he does want to sell it. I'll let you know if he does. I know you need another drag line. I could see you operating two. Maybe you could rig it up so you could operate it by an app or something like that. Steam powered forklift. Well, that's a good point. Yep. Well, you got a steam powered motorbike. That's on social media if no one's seen it. I should probably find that and bring it up. Gerinator, you crack me up, man. Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. Periwinkle, drifting forkies. Okay, I got to look that up. I'll have to look that up. It's pretty incredible what some people do with some of the machinery, especially skid steers. Bobcats, what they can do with them, and different other things. Yeah, well, Peter, if it worked, mate. So. Righto, cheers everyone. I needed that water. Righto. Now I'll go over to the talking head because I said I was going to show a video. Some of you may have seen this before. No, where is it? Righto. Excuse me. Probably this one would be the best. So this is using the forklift to take the tender off. That's my dad there. We'd already taken, We'd taken out the rear rolls, the axle, and taken the bolts out and all that sort of stuff. And as you can see, this is quite a few years ago, and it was a fairly wet year that year. And you can see, if you look at the tyres on the forklift, you can see this is Mrs. Shed Talk over in the back there. Actually, I'll just bring this down a bit. There's me, there's the talking head. You get the idea. The forklift just done a perfect job. Even though it's fairly wet ground, it's pretty hard here.
Yeah, there's plenty of timber there.
And that's what a forklift can do for you, and just makes life just so much easier. You know, if we had to take that off by hand or manually, we could have, but the forklift just, we took that off in minutes, so to speak, not hours or anything.
There we go, folks. So, that was pretty good. So tenders off.
That gives you an idea, and that's what it looks like. Now the tender's off, we could get in, get access to the back of the boiler.
To the back of the boiler now.
And other bits and pieces
and
that
to
we couldn't get access
properly
to
and work on it.
Cody, I hope the job's going well, mate. Right, so so let's take that away, and the other one we'll show you. This is before I should have showed you this first, but this is once again the forklift, and we're taking one of the wheels off. Hopefully this is a good one. And you'll see Mrs. Oh yeah, we've got it all slung up. Thank you. Now obviously this video was taken before we had the rain and all that sort of stuff. So the wheels come off the steamroller. They're easy to take off once you get them balanced right. You just saw how easy that was. And like I said, they're 500 kilos each, those rear rolls. And I had no trouble manoeuvring it around. As you can see, just taking it easy, not doing anything crazy. If needed to be, I could have got it further back on the forks and had it resting against the mast. Yeah, we're rocking it, G. 18 people in the round shed. Thanks, guys. I appreciate the support. Probably take one off because I've got it over on the other computer, so that counts it as one view as well. Goes up and down 18, 16. Oh, that's good, Cody. Hopefully you don't have to deal with some grumpy ones, but that may be part of the. Unfortunately, that's part of the territory. You might get some grumpy customers you have to deal with from time to time. And there you go. So that, there's people. I try and explain to people what a forklift like this can do to help you out. There's other members that belong to our club. They've got their owners of traction engines and steamrollers and things like that. And I've suggested to them more than once, on several occasions actually, that they should get a forklift. They should invest in a forklift, and they just don't do it. Unfortunately, it really is a no-brainer, and you can see how easy things have done with a forklift, and you know, it's just one of those things. Or you could have something like this beast here. Oh my God. Okay, why is it unsupported? Why is that unsupported? I was going to show you a different version of a forklift, and I thought, .MOV, I thought that was. I've had it on here before. And yeah. Okay. All right. I can't show you the video I want to show you because it's saying it's unsupported, but I've had it on here before. That's crazy. All right. No worries. One of those things. All right, guys. Look, say it, don't spray it. Guys and girls, I'm going to say thank you very much for being here tonight. I've rattled on long enough. You guys have been absolutely fantastic for coming in here and supporting me tonight. We're going to go out with the usual, hello, the AI tracking's on. This is going to send people crazy. This AI tracking's all right, but it can be a little bit anyway. We're going to go out with the usual end stream. I'd just like to say thank you very much for being here. Really appreciate it. We'll do this again next Thursday. Watch out for another video somewhere along the line. Go over and check out these legends in the chat here. Give them a bit of love. Go watch their content. Even if they haven't got anything there, just go and join their channel and say hello. Tell them I sent you over. Tell them I said g'day. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now. Whistle.